Oh, it didn't take him long to get fixed up.
Are we the last to arrive?
I hope we've not kept you waiting.
Not at all. Your comrade is feeling better, I trust.
Much better, thank you. Harness remedies are certainly potent, in more ways than one.
One becomes accustomed to the taste, although I hope you never have cause to do so. Pray, take your ease.
Full glad I am to see you all unharmed.
You did good, kid. You did real good.
Valiant Scions, for your heroism, you have my boundless gratitude. You cast down that dire tower and set free its hapless captives. You cleanse their souls of its corrupting influence. No words of thanks will suffice. In place of platitudes, I offer a bounty of warding scales. Pray accept your due reward, along with the goodwill of Vrtra.
Alchemists throughout the land were put to work in the forging of your talismans. The finished ones have been collected, and now await you at the High Crucible of Alchemia. Present this letter when you are ready to take them into your possession.
We are humbled by your generosity. Know that the inventive wisdom of Vrtra will be vital in restoring serenity to our star.
Every single one of those scales came from you, didn't they? You must still be in such pain.
"'Tis of no moment. A mere annoyance compared to the dreadful suffering inflicted upon this land and its people.
Albeit brief, my involvement in the Dragonsong War afforded me a glimpse of the myriad sorrows which consumed both dragon and man. Though you were half a world away, such tragedies as befell your kin must have affected you deeply.
Probably a pretty loaded topic, but maybe he'll answer.
And yet, you chose to live among men.
That's a good question, actually. You must really like them.
In the age when that conflict first bloomed, my choice had already been made. In some distant place, man slew dragon, and dragon slaughtered man. Yet no hate could I muster for those smiling faces which did look to me for guidance.
He already had friends. He didn't want to hurt his friends.
Not even my brother's righteous rage could rally me to his cause. I huddled here, secret and still, hoping against hope that which I had built would remain untouched by the chaos and carnage.
'Twould seem we share the same desire for peace, great Vrtra. To that end, I wonder if we might trouble you with another question. The Telophoroi are intent on recreating the final days, an apocalyptic event which we know to predate the sundering of the star. As the longest lived among us, know you aught of this terrible cataclysm?
That's good. He's been around a while, right?
Nay, when war and strife drove my sire from his home, he crossed the great expanse with only our unhatched eggs as company. He alighted upon a shattered source, its 13 reflections long since scattered beyond the rift. Of events preceding his arrival, he knoweth naught, save that which Hydralin hath deigned to disclose.
I see. So again, 'tis the inscrutable Hydaelyn to whom you must look for answers.
Seek you to divine the will of this star? If so, I have a tale which may afford you some small comfort. 'Tis a story from my youth, many, many years ago. To my sire, I once posed the question, of all the stars in the sky, why didst thou settle upon this one? To which Midgardsummer did reply, 'twas the last bastion of hope. He believed, so long as Hydaelyn endured, so too might dragonkind.
Last Bastion, isn't that the fucking Paladin limit break? Nice connection there.
Solemn and portentous were his words. What deeper meaning they held, I could not, dared not pursue. 'Tis a stone I've left unturned ever since. Yet take you solace in the knowledge that whatsoever Hydralyn does strive towards, 'tis an ideal which hath earned my sire's conviction.
Thank you, Vrtra. You've given us warm reassurance in a world gripped by cold uncertainty.
While I'm sure we all have a great many questions, I think it's time we collect the talismans and be on our way. Our fight against the Telophoroi is far from finished.
We must take our leave, but please do inform us if we can provide any further assistance.
Prithee, a moment.
Oh. Big boy's gotta talk.
There is one whom my sire hath judged worthy of honor and respect. The one known to men as Eorzea's champion. This hero of renown and rumor, 'tis thee.
Yeah. Nope. Yes. I only wish he could. I mean, can't he be? He's around somewhere.
I know of his clash with Omega and the long slumber which was his price. Yet even closed in sleep, my father's eyes are far from blind. He is watching over thee, watching over this world. 'Twas a revelation most pleasing that thou, a child of man, had gained Midgardsummer's trust. But alongside mine elation runneth a rivulet of dread. For upon thy life's reel wind too many threads of fate, power, wheel enmeshed with woe. Amidst this tangled knot thou shalt know no rest. 'Tis an endless confluence of forces, a struggle without surcease.
Yeah. I don't think we've had a moment to really rest ever since fucking 1.0.
More terrible still is the attrition wrought upon thy companions, as they are swept up in the storm of thine existence.
Oh, please don't tell me someone's gonna die. thought you were going to pass him by, but you didn't. Of course, you leave him for last. God damn it.
Take heart and protect them well. They will be your strength and your salvation. The hope thou wilt need come the end. Even cowering behind my curtain, I know the suffering of the powerful. I have watched my siblings driven mad by loss.
He's trying to warn us not to get lost in ourselves.
Thus do I exhort thee to spare no effort to keep thy loved ones safe.
Try. We'll try.
Apologies. We hadn't meant to interrupt.
It's just that we do have a history of suddenly collapsing, and when you didn't follow us out...
'Tis I who must apologize. I have detained your champion overlong with idle chatter. Go. At war's end, I pray I welcome thee back into my hall, where together with thy joyful comrades, you may toast your triumph.
Don't scare my kids, please. I'll try to keep them safe. So, what were you and Vrtra talking about? Oh god, you don't want to know. Shake my head. Nothing? Very well, if you say so. The others have gone ahead to the High Crucible. Let's catch up to them.
These are the talismans we were promised.
Yes, and I made a quick count. There are far more than we could have hoped for. Enough to outfit an entire company of soldiers, in fact. Considering the involved process, that they were able to manufacture so many in such a short span of time is nothing short of a miracle.
Once we have distributed them to our allies in Eorzea and the Far East, we'll have a fighting chance to bring down the other spires, just as we did with the Tower of Zot.
Yeah, but just watch out when the thing disappears at the end.
Or we could use them to invade Garlemald proper, and strike directly at the Telophoroid's base of operations.
That's not a bad idea.
Of course, we would need to consult with various Alliance leaders before such a drastic measure could even be contemplated. To which end, I could set out forthwith and present the idea to each of our allies in person.
Pray allow me to undertake some few of those journeys. I find myself restless and in need of purposeful duties.
I can head eastward. Bosnia and Dalmasca are just a short hop from here. And Doma's shinobi network should come in handy for passing on the word.
We shall share the burden then. Meanwhile, I think it best that you and the others take the talismans back to the Baldessian Annex. We must keep them safe and secure until we've decided upon a course of action.
You really want to keep them near Charlians?
Please! I must speak with you!
Oh.
Nidana, you're awake.
Yes. When I spoke with the carer at my bedside, she told me that one of the Scions, a young woman, had cleansed me of the tower's corruption. It seems I'd been asleep ever since the treatment. But when I awoke and learned you were all still here, I knew I had to come.
Are you gonna talk about it?
As you said, Nidana was captured only recently. Such a brief exposure is swiftly cured, so I tended to her before we gathered at Megaduta.
And I am truly grateful that you did. I cannot thank you enough. All of you, for everything you've done. Destroying the tower, rescuing our people. You've saved Thavnair from an awful fate.
Yet who hath truly saved whom? Due in no small part to thine inspirational courage, the alchemists were successful in reproducing warding scales of proven efficacy. Replications of thy work now stand ready to travel across the seas, unto the hands of those who might wield them against this rising evil.
The talisman? Is this true?
Yep.
Oh, I was so groggy from sleep. I didn't even think to ask. Oh, our great work sent across the seas. It was worth it. Oh, it was all worth it.
Oh? The flower? Oh.
Look at that! Its color is completely changed.
Is it the color of hope? Was it hope's color?
What do you have there? How unusual. I wonder if the effect is a reaction to Akasha.
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with that term.
Akasha? It is one of the unseen energies defined by Harnish alchemical theory. Though a gross oversimplification, some describe it as an essence influenced by feelings.
You imply that it is distinct from ether?
Foreign scholars often conflate the two, but we see them as separate concepts.
Is this the power of love?
Ether is an energy which permeates the land. It exists within animals, objects, even the air we breathe, affecting all through which it flows. Akasha, on the other hand, exists in a domain beyond our reach. A gift bestowed from on high, or torn from the heavens in some traditions.
Nice reference there.
Akasha can neither be created nor destroyed. It is beyond our power to purposefully alter or manipulate. The only thing observed to influence it is an abundance of, I want to say, spiritual emotion. As a veteran of the battlefield, surely you've experienced moments of desperation or exaltation when you've transcended the usual limits of your capabilities.
Wait, is she saying that this is kind of like limit break energy? It's a limit break flower?
That is a manifestation of Akasha, the invisible essence harnessed by heart, mind, and unyielding spirit.
I really must hear more about this theory. Our disciplines are based entirely upon the idea that ether is the fundamental form of all energy.
I'm glad my haphazard explanation has piqued your interest. But even for us, Akasha is a somewhat abstract field of study. A lack of practical application lends itself poorly to formalized research. Which is why my analysis of your flower can amount to little more than idle speculation. I am sorry.
No! Nonsense, you have nothing to be sorry for. Your insight is much appreciated.
Shall we depart for Sharlayan then? I will see to it that the talismans arrive at the Annex.
And we will be in touch once our talks are concluded. I suggest you rest while you can. From here onward, sleep is bound to be in short supply.
That's a warning. Get ready for the roller coaster, huh? It's good to be back and with the fruit of our labors safely in storage. For now, we have but to wait for the others to return from their respective meetings with the Alliance leaders. As Thancred suggested, you should get some rest in the meantime. Welcome back, Gaddis. Krile has apprised me of your recent accomplishments. What an amazing feat to eliminate a tower and pave the way to deal with the rest. While it isn't much, I've changed the sheets and plumped up your pillow. After all, there's nothing like collapsing in a nice clean bed after completing a major milestone, be it penning a thesis or defeating a deiform entities. So would you like to take a look at your new and improved lodgings now? Sure, I only went like once, but let's check it out.
Take heart and protect them well.
Oh!
Good! You're here!
Oh.
You haven't eaten yet, have you? We've bought quite a spread if you're interested. Only the finest dining from the last stand.
Oh, you guys. Oh, a pie. Oh, that's a big fucking burger. Oh my god. Oh. No pickles? I like pickles. Oh my god.
Lest you wonder, we invited Estinian as well. But he refused with a rather grim-faced, "No, thank you." I suspect Sharlayan cuisine is not to his liking.
But the burgers.
Oh, I don't know about that. Perhaps our lone wolf just needed some time apart.
What? To perfect his brooding stare? Next time, I'll drag him out by the ear, sit him down in front of a Sharlayan feast, and see that he eats every last bite.
An excellent idea. Of all people, warriors must take proper meals and rest if they are to maintain a healthy constitution.
Poor Estinian, beset on all sides.
Jesus, I don't know if you could finish that whole thing.
Speaking of one's physical condition, Mistress Krile, I hear you recently played literal host to Heidelin herself.
And what an experience that was. Tiring, yes, but no lasting harm done. If anything,
I should have liked to speak with her longer. I've not felt a hint of her presence since.
Hydaelyn instructed you to carry that flower, yes? Twill be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. And then something about seeking joy in darkness, was it? Come to think of it, isn't that what happened with Nidana back in Radzat-Han?
Kind of, I guess.
The flower did seem to radiate a joyful glow, as if reflecting the elation we all felt, the relief of a people with renewed hope.
Indeed, and in turn I felt buoyed by that radiance. 'Twas akin to spotting a beacon and knowing we were on the right path. I know we've not yet triumphed over the Telophoroi, or learned the full breadth of the Forum's plans. But even within the midst of our struggles, we find small moments of joy to sustain us. Rare and hard-won perhaps, but it is this pursuit of happiness that gives us the strength to carry on day after day.
True. Pizza! Oh my god! Eat that pizza right now.
Hey, that's mine.
To the swift the spoils. Though I recall that levitation spell of yours was quick enough.
Only barely. And even at my best, I'm still too slow to wield it effectively in battle. Mayhap I simply require more practice with this new magic.
You unearthed it from the depths of Numenon, I presume?
Aye, and from a veritable mountain of arcane tomes at that. 'Twas necessary to facilitate my solitary explorations.
Or, to put it simply, you used it to sneak around the Forbidden Archives.
Yes, well, after a fashion.
Take the cookie.
They're tall, you see. The shelves, they're too tall for me. And I could hardly move the library's platforms without attracting attention now, could I?
Not that short. It's short compared to my Ellison, I guess. That's cute. Okay, things are way too happy. I'm kind of afraid now. The moon. Oh. Are we pushing on until dawn? Shall we call it a night? Do you know these are my quarters? Well, let's keep going.
I'm not that ambitious. But 'tis pleasant to idle away the hours every once in a while.
Supercharged flower. Oh no.
Ah! Enjoying the bracing cold, I see. Do you not own a warm coat or a cloak? Something in fur? Or fashioned from the skins of your enemies? Or... well, never mind that. I come to you once more as the bearer of bad news. Our tower in Thavnair has been toppled, and I need not tell you by whom. Given how many we have at our disposal, the loss of a single spire is hardly fatal to our plans. It does, however, slow the rate at which we siphon the ether. If they continue to preoccupy themselves with the towers, then all will be well. But should our foe prove bold enough to strike at us here, then the timing becomes questionable.
Oh god, he knows we're gonna do that. There's no way he's just supposing about it.
Our foe is bold enough. Of that, I can assure you.
Yes, very well then. I suppose I must prepare a proper welcome. Honestly, talk of your nemesis is the only thing you seem to enjoy. Does nothing else spark your interest?
I don't know if anything else does.
No. All else is equal. Equally tedious. Equally disappointing. The world is a tepid bog into which we sink, too weak to thrash as the mud clings to our eyes and fills our throats till we blissfully choke. But then came the light, blinding and pure and hot, so very hot, enough to set my soul aflame.
Oh boy.
I basked in the afterglow until the void yawned once more. And then I knew the muck would never claim me again. There was naught for me ahead, so I drew the curtain on all that had come before. Burn. Burn. Let the whole star burn. I will have my contest. I will reclaim my moment.
That's a huge waste for a single fucking moment.
How wonderful that the emptiness of death has not dissuaded you from committing your life to its pursuit once more. I don't know whether to envy you or pity you.
You question my disinterest, but what of yours? Despite your noisome antics, I sense you take little pleasure in this endeavor.
Mercy, my lord. Such pointed barbs from one who barely acknowledges my existence. Nevertheless, you are mistaken. For I do find this part somewhat enjoyable. You see, when I was mortal, I would always have the same dream. It was a fragmented thing, disjointed, all the faces incomplete. The setting, too, was unknown to me, so I thought it simply a fantasy of my sleeping mind. Until one day, I realized it was showing me the truth. Much as your dream of the final days enlightened you.
Asahi's a turd, but I kind of liked his voice a little bit more than this guy's. They're very similar, but he just had a little bit more of a flair.
And soon, very soon, the rest of the world will see the truth of my dream, too. Yes, I think that is something we can both enjoy.
Oh, there you are. Feeling refreshed, I hope? I was about to make my way to the studium as it happens. I wanted to try and speak with the Scholar Montaigne and thank him for coming to our rescue in the Rostra. As it turns out, he'd come here to see us following the hearing, only to find that we'd already departed for Thavnair. Knowing him, he was probably hoping to chew the cud with his former students. Since we're waiting for Y'Shtol and the others, I thought now might be the perfect time to pay him a visit. Care to join me? Then it's settled. The twins will be coming too, assuming Alphino can tear himself away from his new toys. I'll let you rally the troops while I go ahead to Phenomenon. Considering my recent impropriety, perhaps I should avoid showing my face around the studium for a time. That might be for the best. If the others should return, tell them we will not be long. I was practicing. Heading out for a stroll? The Scholar himself was there. In that case, what are we waiting for? I too am eager to see him, though I somewhat dread the thought of visiting the studium. I dare say our notoriety precedes us. Alphino, of all people, worrying over his reputation, and at our alma mater no less, will wonders never cease. You'll understand soon enough. Off we go. Here it is, Phenomenon. While I expect you made note of it before, one can hardly miss it. This is the first time you've been here on official business, correct? While most of the space is taken up by the expansive auditoriums, it also houses numerous laboratories, testing grounds for experimental magics, and a host of administrative offices and so forth. As the center of what would later become the studium, it was established to promote the study of etherological phenomena, hence the name. Though with ether being a fundamental aspect of nature, its scope expanded to include every conceivable facet of life, and even the universe itself. And then, in the 432nd year of the 6th Astral Era, Phenomenon was decreed complete, and the studium officially opened as a place of learning. With a long and storied history, it is without question the world's leading authority in etherology, the arcane, the occult, astromancy, and countless other fields, standing proud as Charlian's foremost educational institute. You always did enjoy giving the grand tour to new students. Indeed, I've long since lost track of how many times he has recited that same foppish speech. Such is his undying love for his old stamping ground. He was in top form back then. Youngest to enter the studium, graduated with the highest honors in magical arts and etherology, undisputed champion of the debating chamber. Hold on, you both joined the studium at the same age, yes? And from where I stand, you're equally prodigious scholars. Nice of you to stay, but Alphino actually entered in half a year before me. Nor did I do well enough to graduate with honors, and I am certainly not the studium's most notorious master debater. In all respects, have I ever been in his shadow. If nothing else, just remember that this was where the legend of Alphino Leverlier began. We should expect everyone to be fully aware of our recent escapades. Hopefully we'll be somewhat more welcome here than we were at the last stand. I know better than anyone the adoration of the student body has for Alphino, and with a bit of luck, it might work to our advantage. Well, there's no time like the present. First things first, let's look for Scholar Montaigne. Other faculty tend to frequent their offices, but unfortunately for us, he's fond of wandering wheresoever his whims take him. Let's split up and ask the students if they've seen him. Are you lost? Wander off in the street, perhaps? Wait, don't tell me. You're a trainee gleaner fresh off the guild ship. I'm right, aren't I? Oh, how silly of me. An orientation is in order. Ahem. Allow me to bid you a warm welcome to Searcher's Meet. Let me start with a question. What is the most important thing you'll find in the studium? That's right, books. And what's the second most important? Why, that's simple. Everything else. That's what we deal with here in the Searcher's Meet. Whenever the students or tutors find themselves in need of equipment or materials, they come to us. If we don't have it in our stores, we send the gleaners off to find it. Honestly, you wouldn't believe some of the requests we get. Eye of Pyso this, tongue of Giganto that. It's enough to make your hair stand on end. Which is possibly what some of our students are trying to accomplish, this being a school of magic and all. As our newest gleaner, you'll have your work cut out for you, but I think you'll find it quite rewarding. Let's see, the only thing I'm interested in gleaning is information on the Scholark's whereabouts. I've tracked down many miscellaneous knickknacks in my time, but I'm no gleaner. Yeah, I just need to know where the Scholark is. I beg your pudding? You're not a gleaner? Then this was all an elaborate ruse? No, wait, come to think of it, he never actually claimed to be one in the first place. My mistake. He was here, but now he's not. I did speak with him shortly before you arrived, though. He said he was on his way to the Maker's Meet. Go back the way you came, and you'll see it on the opposite side of the entrance. It's a laboratory of sorts, home to many rare and expensive curios, not to mention alarmingly frequent accidents. If you lose your way, just follow the blood-curdling screams. Ha! In the time it's taken me to tell you all of this, the Scholark has probably already left. Best of luck finding him. I have a feeling you'll need it. Thanks a lot. Oh, thank God he's there.
Ah, I remember you.
I pray we have not caught you at an inopportune moment. We wanted to offer our thanks for your kind words in the forum.
Well, I could hardly let that inquisition go unchallenged. I've always believed that curiosity should be nurtured, not stifled. Thankfully, a majority of my colleagues agreed. A slender majority, aye, but a majority nonetheless.
Had the vote not gone our way, we would be having a very different conversation, if any at all. Though I'd like to think you would have not given up on our cause. I'm told you paid a visit to the annex afterwards.
Yes, that's right. I was hoping to speak with the grandchildren of my dearly departed friends Galuf and Louisoix in a less dour setting. But it seems I just missed you. I still can't believe how much you've grown. If only your grandsires could have seen the way you presented yourselves to the Forum. Why, it fair brought a tear to my own eye. You must have the patience of a saint, putting up with this lot and their antics. Never mind Matoya's prize student. Luckily, I know a thing or two about managing unruly younglings. If you ever need advice, don't hesitate to ask.
If I may, there is a rather more pressing matter we wish to discuss. What can you tell us of this duty that the Forum must fulfill?
Nothing, I'm afraid. Like all humble servants of the Forum, I am sworn to secrecy. Or rather, I couldn't tell you if I tried.
What? Oh, it's like a spell?
Our duty is of the gravest importance. Furthermore, if the particulars were made public, it would incite widespread panic. As such, those entrusted with this duty have been bound by an enchantment which prevents us from speaking of such matters without the express permission of the Forum.
Oh, that was like that one forum guy who literally got cut off when he was trying to say, like, you haven't seen the things that I've seen.
How is that even possible?
It's been some time since I last gave a lecture. Please, take a seat.
Was this like Hogwarts? It's very handy.
We shall begin by reviewing the fundamentals of etherology. The ether, which imbues us with life, can be categorized into 3 forms. 2 are of the incorporeal sort, the soul, and the memory. Can anyone tell me the 3rd?
Oh my god. I don't even know if I know this. Yeah, I clearly don't. Well, magic. I mean, I guess this, but didn't he just say that?
Yes.
Oh.
Very good.
Okay, my own Warrior of Light is smarter than I am, I think.
This is the form with which the layman is most familiar. Consumed by even the simplest of daily activities, and replenished by the food and drink that sustain us, this form of ether is in constant flux. In contrast, the ether that comprises the soul is rarely subject to dramatic change. The same can be said for memory, as the two are intrinsically linked. Picture the soul as paper, and memories as words written upon it. Now, what would happen if that paper was doused with ink, the same type of ether as comprises the memories?
It's redacted.
It would blot out everything that was written.
Precisely. We would be unable to recall the memories, and any activities that depend upon them would be hindered as well. In fact, this exact phenomenon was observed on a vast scale not so long ago. And what might that have been?
The 7th Umbral Calamity.
Oh, is it that like 5-year block after Bahamut was destroyed by Louis Waugh?
The people of Eorzea vividly recall Bahamut breaking free of the Lesser Moon and raining hellfire down upon the realm. But no one could seem to remember the events that followed immediately afterwards.
That's interesting. So they're either retconning or finally explaining that, like, gap in information or memory.
Indeed. To this day, we have yet to determine whether it was an unintended consequence or a deliberate act. The enchantment which binds me and the rest of the Forum is based on a similar principle. And yes, it is a contravention of the Sharlayan prohibition against the practice of memory manipulation. Only when a new member is inducted and told of our great duty are they subjected to the process. A necessary evil. You have my word that it would never be used to manipulate the populace?
Yeah, that, doesn't inspire a lot of confidence.
I should hope not. But can this enchantment be dispelled and your memories restored?
If 9/10 of our members give their approval, then the process may be reversed. Then, and only then, would we be able to speak freely to others of our sacred duty.
9/10 is a fuck ton, though. Like, okay, I don't like that at all.
Barring that, we must wait until we return to the ethereal sea.
Holy shit, so you keep your memory to your grave?
For there we will be purified, the blots upon our souls washed clean.
Wait, what? So he's not saying just when you die and you go to the sea. Do they think they can actually go there and survive? I guess like the Warrior of Light does, I guess?
And our memories drift apart and dissolve. Rather defeating the purpose, I suppose. But there are those memories that are indelibly etched upon our souls, some believe.
What happens after that?
We are reduced to pure ether, coalesce with that of others, and create souls anew.
Oh, so it is when you die. Okay, so the only time you form new memories and new, or remove those blockages is when you just completely die? Phew.
Alternative schools of thought assert souls remain whole and return to the corporeal world, reborn into another form.
Yeah, that's like on the Azim Steppe, where Sadhu's group believes in that, right?
Both theories have their proponents. Personally, I consider each equally probable.
Uh-oh, are you gonna remember something?
Well, I think that's enough education for today. Now that I've given you some food for thought, or rather, an entire banquet. I would remind you that although I'm unable to assist you with certain matters, the resources at my disposal may still be of use to you. I'll arrange for you all to be given the run of Phenomenon. Of course, as associate to our alumni and the students of Baldessian, this privilege is extended to you as well, my friend. Oh, and I suggest you speak with Ki Aliapo. She's well known among the artisans of Sharlayan, and her network of contacts may prove useful in your search for knowledge. I wish you all the best in your pursuits, wheresoever they may take you.
Well, that was helpful. Thanks, Gramps. I mean, that laugh was a little ominous, but thank you. Well, that's given me much to mull over. I feel as though we're one step closer to understanding the form's true motives, and the mysteries of life itself for good measure. It's funny, I came here with the intent of expressing my gratitude, only to leave more indebted than before. I have a feeling his friendship and support will be a great boon to us in days to come. And on that note, let's head back to the Annex. Perhaps on the way you could better acquaint yourself with Ki Alipo, as the scholar suggested, while I share our findings with Raha. Ah, I was told to expect you. As you may or may not be aware, the Admiral is at present entertaining the Elder Seedseer and the Sultana. 3 of the most powerful women in the world in one room. Do you need a moment to prepare, or shall I show you to them? Let's just go in. My apologies for calling you away from Charlian at such short notice. On the contrary, we are honored and grateful, and pleasantly surprised to be joined by such esteemed company. It was only right that this discussion be conducted in person. We are locked in a war of attrition. Our forces struggle to contain the threat posed by the towers, and it is only a matter of time before we are overwhelmed. Victory will only be claimed through decisive action, and we have taken the initiative to set the wheels in motion. It is reassuring to learn we are all in accord. But might I ask what your plan entails? It hinges entirely on the warding scales and our ability to utilize our potential to their fullest. During your time in Charlian, the Allied nations have been engaged on separate fronts with no end in sight. To make matters worse, a surge in abductions of kobolds, Sahagin, Ixal, and Ananta have given rise to increasing numbers of primals as well. But your triumph at Razat Han has given us a cause to hope once more. The time has come to free ourselves of this menace. And it is you, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, who have shown us the way. While the bulk of our forces will continue to hold the Telophoroi at bay, we will dispatch our finest to strike at the enemy's heart, Garlemald. Ah, you guys are going right for it, okay. These brave few will be the Ilsabard contingent. Am I leading this contingent? To think such progress has been made in such short a span. Its objectives are twofold. The first is to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. As previously reported, countless Imperial soldiers and civilians have been tempered. Robbed of their free will, they serve the Telophoroi's every whim without question. Wait, but when they weren't tempered, they were still, some of them, pretty awful people. Are they just gonna sweep that all under the rug? They too are victims. It is our duty to deliver them from their suffering, not for strategic or political gain, but because it is the right thing to do. I mean, okay. I do not ask that we set aside the decades of conflict and conquest, that we simply choose to forgive and forget. I ask only in that choosing to remember we do not also forsake our compassion and morality, for without that there can be no reconciliation, only death without end. Okay. Aye, on that we can all agree. Our second objective is the colossal tower that Thancred and Uranger observed in the capital. Though its purpose remains unclear, there's reason to believe the smaller spires are merely a precursor of what's yet to come. Until the Tower of Zot was toppled, we'd failed to make any headway, though the same could be said of the Telophoroi. There's certainly no rush to press further into our lands. Yeah, they seem to be okay with just holding steady, at least as far as Fandaniel was saying. I'd wager the Spire's primary purpose is to divide and keep us occupied while they work towards our annihilation. That's pretty accurate, I think. This would appear to be substantiated by Y'Shtol's analysis of the tower's influence on ethereal currents. Based on her observations inside the Tower of Zot, the spires siphon ether from the land, consuming it to maintain their form. However, they draw forth far more than is required for this task alone. The excess of ether remains unaccounted for, but we can be sure it is not being harnessed for our benefit. It wouldn't surprise me in the least if it was being redirected to the larger spire in the capital. There's a logic in that. Regardless, once we have uncovered the truth, we'll bring their schemes crashing down along with their infernal towers. That's all well and good. But what would you have us do? I assume it's more than handing over the scales and being on our way. Yeah, other people aren't quite as strong as we are. I mean, just because you're protected from the effect doesn't mean you won't get killed by the stuff inside. We want you and your scales to join the Ilseburg contingent. Yeah, okay, I knew that was coming. That's not a surprise. Consider it an official request from both the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance. Do you accept? I mean, I don't have much of a choice, so sure. Perhaps you should be the one to answer that. Yes, let me seal all of our fates with one statement. What will I say? For honor and glory, for the people of Garlemald? No, I don't think so. For revenge against the Telophoroi. I don't really like any of these, but sure, I'm a vengeful person. Let's say this one. Couldn't have put it better myself. Y'shtola, Thancred, and Urianger have already pledged their support and are on their way to meet the rest of the contingent. They were positive you would come to the same decision as they did. Luckily for all involved, their prediction was correct. Once you've delivered the warding scales to Alamigo, the contingent will embark on its journey to Ilsebard. Raban and Lord Aymeric, yay, Lord Aymeric, are overseeing preparations, so I suggest you make yourselves known upon arrival. You bet I'm going to say hi to my boy. Pack warm clothing, furs and the like. Without it, the cold will do you in before the Telophoroi so much as draw steel. As for us, we'll keep the enemy busy while you're gone. They're not the only ones who can create a diversion. Now go, safe in the knowledge that Eorzea will be as you left it, or better, upon your return. Ah, the Wanderers return. You've been busy bringing down a tower and producing the keys to destroying the rest of them. You should be proud. Those warding scales of yours are what made this whole venture possible. Will you and Lord Aymeric be leading the contingent? Regrettably, no. Our role is to organize the various delegations into a cohesive unit. Once we have all seen you off, it's back to our respective posts. We dare not neglect our duties for too long, lest our defensive efforts fall into disarray. And just between us, there's a fair amount of opposition to the formation of the Ilsebard contingent. The very suggestion that we send out some of our finest troops behind enemy lines to render aid unto the Garleans has made me rather unpopular in certain quarters. Can't please them all. Sadly not, though I do my best. Truth be told, I'd much rather be at your side, charging into the fray. Alas, I've battles of my own to fight where words may serve me better than any blade. Are you guys still a thing? Oh well, you're just good friends. I hate to say it, but Lord Aymeric struggles mirror my own. For the time being, it's the best we can offer you. The best we can offer you is peace of mind from knowing Eorzea is in safe hands. As you fight the good fight in Ilsebard, I and the other commanders will do what we can to convince the naysayers that our cause is just. Thank you, both of you. We meet again. Oh, Gaius. Much has occurred since we parted ways in Werlet. From what I gather, the protective talismans you obtained led to the formation of this expeditionary force. You coming with us? My contribution on this occasion is but a minor one, that being the information I have shared with Maxima. For the sake of the people of Garlemald, may the fates be on your side. Oh, you're sticking here, I guess. So you're not coming with us. Strange. I thought you'd have a stake in this. I do. The Telophoroi have laid waste to my homeland and enslaved my people. But though every mote of my being cries for vengeance, I cannot be the one to deliver it. My presence alone would place the entire mission in jeopardy. Put on a disguise or something? I stand accused of murdering Emperor Varus and plunging Garlemald into chaos. Were I to travel to Ilsebard with the Ilsebard contingent, it would give my countrymen ample cause to question our motives. Oh, so he was still framed? They didn't see fucking Xenos bamf out of there after he did that? Conversely, those who believe me innocent may instead celebrate the return of a former legatus and attempt to raise me to a position of leadership, further destabilizing the region and complicating the contingent's mission. Yeah, okay, you make a good point, I guess. Whether I am branded a villain or hailed as a hero, I would only hinder your efforts. Alright. We will deliver your people from harm in your stead. I doubt they'd be pleased to see the champion of Eorzea set foot on Garlean soil. I understand. Werla is in your hands. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna be happy to see me regardless of whether he comes with us or not. A fair point, but so long as you refrain from announcing your arrival to all and sundry, the average person should have no inkling as to your identity. Although your titles and deeds are common knowledge, only a select few would recognize you on sight alone. Perhaps one day they will learn that the Warrior of Light is not a demon to be feared, but a man deserving of their trust. In light of Gaius' rather unique circumstances, I instead will assume the role of your guide. Though I may have defected for political reasons, my love for Garlemald endures. I would stop at nothing to protect her and her people. Well said. Might I ask you to escort our friends inside? You might even bump into an old acquaintance or two, and if I don't see you again ere you depart, may the Fury guide and protect you, all of you. Alright, Maxima. Let's do it. Oh, a little gift? The other members of Ilseburg contingent are gathered in the royal palace. I shall inform them of your arrival, so please make your way inside as soon as you're ready. Are we gonna get some more reunions? Who else are we meeting? The remaining members of the Scions, your friends and most of the Ilseburg contingent await you within. Would you like me to see you all through? Well, yep, let's go.
By the 12.
Oh, damn. That's a lot of people. Wait, who are all those people? Is that that fucking pirate guy?
Glad you could join us. I hope you don't mind, but we went ahead and started without you.
As you can imagine, our traveling companions were eager to become acquainted. 'Tis a rare thing indeed to see such a diverse and talented group of individuals assembled for a single purpose. We fight not only for the sake of Eorzea, but for the entire world, including the people of Garlemald. Much rides on the efforts of the Ilsebard contingent.
Wait, what the fuck? That's... okay. That's, was it Gaidalo and what's-his-face, the two boyfriends from the Bard quests? That's definitely that pirate asshole. This little Lalafell is the guy from the Scholar quests? This is the White Mage, kid. The Black Mages, I believe? And then, of course, Dragoon Dude, Aldebert? I can't remember what the hell his name is. And Machinist Guy, Francel's brother. What a pair.
Indeed, which is why I am glad to find myself in the company of many trusted comrades, yourselves included.
Lucia!
Hey, hey!
I have come at the behest of Lord Emmerich, who has honored me with the role of Ishgard's representative. And for the good of all nations, not least my former homeland, I am determined to see this mission through to its end.
Oh god, yes, because she's Garlean. Oh, please, please don't let her die. I'm actually instantly really worried about her.
We have a hard road ahead of us, but walk it we shall, together.
Yeah, walk tall.
We too welcome this opportunity to work together once more. I have faith that, if there is a way to resolve this conflict, we will find it.
Allow me to introduce you to the rest of our company.
Here we go.
Everyone! If I may have your attention. Might I ask you to speak first?
If I must. I am Arun Senna, spokesman for the Gridanian delegation. Here on behalf of my esteemed sister, the Elder Seedseer, we shall provide support and protection to those in need during our time in Garlemald. To that end, I am joined by healers selected by the Conjurers Guild, with the Order of the Twin Adder's Finest serving as our escort.
Hey guys.
Of course, with an experienced white mage such as yourself accompanying us as well, those requiring more involved treatment will be in safe hands. Raya O sends her regards, by the way.
I cannot even remember which one of you that is.
Suppose I'd better say my piece.
Oh, this asshole.
Wait, I know you.
Yeah, that wasn't that long ago.
The name's Sicard, in case you've forgotten. Truth be told, I'd rather you had forgotten. Any road, the Admiral asked Captain Hillfear to send his best, and for whatever reason, he picked me. Of course, if I'd refused, I'd be the laughingstock of the bloody executioners, and my reputation's taken enough of a keyhauling as it is. But more importantly, like any pirate worth his salt, I know when you're staring down a storm, you gotta trust in the commander of your ship. So if the Admiral wants us to go to Garlemald, not for plunder and glory, but the promise of peace in our time, then that's what we'll do.
Alright, dude.
Since we all know how much the Empire loves its steel, we thought we'd bring along a few smiths to make the most of it. Give them a pile of scrap and they'll cobble together anything you fancy. Of course, just like the Gridanians, we got fighters of our own. We might have come with a more constructive purpose in mind, but we're more than capable of cracking skulls, believe you me.
Well, you're certainly raring to go. But then again, so are we. The most dependable warriors of Uldar and Alamigo have assembled at the Sultana and General Aldin's behest. If Garlemald has truly fallen, then the whole place is likely to be crawling with Telophoroi. We'll need plenty of troops to clear and hold a path for others to follow. That's where we come in. Naturally, Marshal Tarapin and I will be leading from the front.
It's been some time since I last saw you in your element on the battlefield.
From what I've heard, you've become pretty fearsome yourself. Master Matoya, the Avatar of Destruction.
Oh, somebody spoiled it.
With comrades like these, I know we'll succeed, no matter what awaits us. And then we might finally get a chance to enjoy a good long rest. But until then, let's give it our all.
Yeah, let's not do a long final rest, guys. Let's keep focused. I want to talk with all these guys.
As for Ishgard, we Temple Knights have come in force to uphold our nation's commitment to the peace and welfare of our allies. The bitter cold of Garlemald is a formidable enemy in of itself. Our experience fighting in ice and snow will prove invaluable in the days ahead.
True.
Accordingly, I have been designated commander of the Ilzabard contingent. I will do all in my power to provide you with the leadership and guidance you require. The 4 high houses, House Hylinart foremost among them, have arranged for a host of machinists to join us on our mission. Their knowledge of Imperial Magitech is sure to be a great boon. They will address any problems of a technical nature, together with the smiths of Limpsa Lomitsa. There is another awaiting introduction.
Oh my god. Is that fucking Lord Emmanuel? Why is he here? Oh no, is he gonna fucking die? He's not ready for this shit.
Ah, yes. Emmanuel de Forton, at your service.
Boy, I am not letting another Forton die. Maybe you should stay home?
Though, lest there be any misunderstanding, I should stress that I've not become a fearsome warrior while you were away. Rather, far from it, actually. My brother, in his infinite wisdom, decided this would be an excellent chance to make something of myself. Oh, and fight for world peace and all that.
Yeah, is he trying to get your ass killed? Because this is going to be dangerous.
But, should the opportunity arise for a spot of ballroom dancing, I will be your twinkle-toed gentleman of light.
What the fuck? No. Dude, you're gonna embarrass yourself in front of everybody here. May your graceful prancing lead the way to victory. I dare say your fancy footwork may be all that stands between us and certain doom. Oh god. I guess we have to humor him.
Huzzah! I cannot wait to regale Honorat with my tales of daring do.
What, Honorat? Why does his name sound different every time I hear it?
I believe that concludes introductions for the Grand Company of Eorzea. Our allies from the Eastern Alliance were due to arrive some time ago, but it would appear they have been delayed.
Is that gonna be a problem?
Would that be the shinobi of Doma?
Actually, they've been tasked with relaying messages back and forth between the various Eastern nations. According to Lord Hien, however, an equally capable company of warriors has been sent in their stead.
Out of my way, you preening fool!
Oh, it's these guys again. Just kiss already, you two.
Forgive us for coming late. We are the delegates of the Eastern Alliance.
Oh, it's the Bozjin guys, too.
Cyrena, and you've brought company.
For battle and blood we come, as the steppe is sorely lacking in both. No towers befoul our lands, so we marched on those of Doma, only to find them beyond our reach. But now our thirst for slaughter will be slaked. No quarter to the enemy!
Sadu Hatun, no. We go to make peace with the Iron Men, not war.
Yeah, you picked the wrong people to come with you then.
Warriors of the Steppe, we've heard many tales of your bravery. We welcome you as allies. And these other ones you have brought are...
Members of the Dalmascan resistance group, Lente's Tears.
Oh, it's a different group. Okay, I thought it was the previous Bozjin people.
And the Bosnian resistance.
Wait, is that them?
Between them, they have a wealth of experience in espionage, and are particularly adept at infiltrating Imperial facilities. Which is fortuitous, since Garlemald's domain is so vast that I could never hope to handle reconnaissance duties all by myself.
Dalmasca, Bosnia, Alamigo. All lands which have suffered the tyranny of the Empire. I would never presume to question your motives. Nevertheless, I must reiterate that our goal is to aid the victims of the Telophoroi, the common folk of Garlemald.
Yeah, make sure they got their priorities straight.
And they are victims, make no mistake. though I understand that many may struggle to see them as such.
You're more right than you know. For every one of us that answered the call, there were a dozen that refused. Not only in Alamigo, but everywhere we went. And who could blame them? The Empire's always been the enemy.
I want names. I want names of the people that refused. Track them down, smack them.
But after seeing what we've seen, fighting and working against and with Garleans, there's no denying the simple truth. They're just people. No different from you or I. They've got their share of liars and murderers, but so do we. So do we all.
Right, Lise, you've grown up a lot since the last time I saw you. I think time apart has done you good.
Fordola, who once swore herself to Garlemald, has proven herself a trusted ally time and time again. Every Eorzean here knows Cid Garland, the Imperial defector who shared with us countless technological wonders. Gaius bloody Baelsar himself is working to help rebuild Werlid, a nation he once conquered. So you can believe me when I say that every fighter here understands and accepts that the Imperials are not monsters and are deserving of help. It won't be easy, but we're all determined to make this world a better place.
What lingering concerns I may have had were clearly unwarranted. I agree with everything you said wholeheartedly.
Then we are in accord. Now, let us review our strategy. To reach the Garlean capital in northern Ilsabard, we must cross the central mountain range. Fortunately, Garlond Ironworks can provide aerial transport, sparing us this most treacherous part of our journey. However, attempting to fly any closer to Garlemald would attract the attention of the Telophoroi.
Yeah, you're not going to exactly sneak in there.
As they appear to have seized control of the majority of the Imperial military, we must assume that includes its fleet. In addition, Garlemald possesses devices that can interfere with airship navigational systems, further discouraging an airborne approach.
Given the circumstances, the closest we dare deploy our contingent is an area between the range and the capital, the Magna Glaciers. From there, we must travel the rest of the way on foot. We will also need to bring the airships with us to ensure we can withdraw with haste. Although much of the terrain will be blanketed in snow, we should be able to make use of local roads and shipping facilities. The vast ice field will afford us an unobstructed view of the surrounding area. On the other hand, it will also allow others to easily spot us, so it is imperative that we only make camp in positions where we can easily defend ourselves. And the airships, which must be kept safe at all costs.
We cannot account for every possibility, so we must be prepared to think on our feet. We will be tested. Sorely tested, I expect. But for our homes and for our people, and a people not our own but in need, we will succeed. Spare no effort in your preparations. Once we depart, there is no turning back.
Oh, okay, that's a nice warning there. Oh shit, now I can talk to everybody. Okay, you gotta wait up there a second. I wanna talk to my old pals. Hey Samson, how you been doing? Our prowess has finally been recognized by the Order of the Twin Adder. Naturally, Guidalo is also here helping us. Whilst his ability as a bard is unmatched, I do worry about his judgment. However, you need not. I shall be keeping a close eye on him, I promise. Yeah, I'm sure you will. Hey, buddy. I can't lie to you, Goddess. I wasn't entirely for this whole thing when Samson spoke to me, but if it means being your brother in arms, then who am I to pettifog? I shouldn't be so hard on him, I suppose. This bard unit is quite impressive, really. Yes, one must give credit where credit is due. Rather uncouth for one to do otherwise, after all. Alright. Hey, Alka! Greetings, Gaddis. The time has come for us Marines to show our valor upon the battlefield. All who see us will know our name and quake before our might. To victory, come hells or high water. I guess I'll talk to you. Until the Empire fell, Garleans were the only ones we was allowed to impose tariffs upon at sea. Weren't easy pickings, but I made myself a pretty gill. Since they've been so generous to me and mine, perhaps it's time I returned the favor and gave a little something back. Who are you? Bar? I'm here representing the Marauders Guild, and it's my job to keep the Smiths out of harm's way. Mind you, with the hammers of theirs, they can put up a fair fight themselves. With a bit of luck, this will be over and done with before you know it. Maybe when this is all over, you could pay the Axemaster a visit. He still tells all the new recruits about the time you killed Kujata and avenged that boy's parents. I remember it like it were yesterday. Kokobuki. These are the thaumaturge guys. We came as quickly as we could. We would follow your example and devastate the Telafroi with the full extent of our powers. Worry not for your brothers, Lucy. We will return soon enough. Hi, Pippin. Often has Father told me of the struggles faced by Alamigo in the days of the occupation, and I too have crossed swords with the Empire on many occasions. Though Garlemald has long been our bitter enemy, Her Grace has elected to bolster the Ilsabard contingent with members of the Immortal Flames. As representatives of the Sultanate, we are one in our commitment to the cause. Is this... I can't remember. Was she the monk NPC? I'm so glad I found you. I've for you a letter from Master Hammon. Let's read it together, shall we? Now let's see here. Ahem. I have every confidence that your fist shall bring the Telafroi to their knees, and should you espy any beautiful maidens thereabouts, perhaps sing them to my praises? Oh yeah, the little perv old man. Charming master. Well, fool me for thinking that letter would contain something actually inspiring. Let's just, forget this note exists and focus on the battle ahead. Maxima? I cast my lot with the Populares to bridge the divide between Garlemald and her territories, that all may be united in the common cause. But we were disparaged as a radical element, dissenters looking to destabilize the Empire from within. Many friends and even my parents perished in unfortunate accidents. I too would surely have met the same fate had I not defected. Nevertheless, I still dream of equality and peace for us all. As the world itself stands on the brink of collapse, I hold out hope that one day that dream will become reality. You're a good guy. Let's hope you make it through to the end. I don't know why you're here, but I'll talk to you, Emmanuel. Well, if I'd known what a social gathering this would turn out to be, I'd have dressed for the occasion. Still, this seems the perfect opportunity to mingle with the other guests. Would I be correct in assuming those ladies over yonder are Serena and Sadu of the Steppe? Perhaps I should introduce myself. Oh god, you are going to get murdered. Though I don't much like the look of that fellow with the enormous axe. Yeah, don't talk to little son. He's not going to like you. Stefanoben, haven't talked to you in a long time. If it isn't Gaddis, 'tis thanks in no small part to you that the manufactory's future is looking brighter than ever, my friend. I am pleased to report that I and a handful of my colleagues have been selected to join the contingent. Ere the expedition is ended, even the Temple Knights will be singing our machinist's praises, once they have borne witness to not only our mechanical proficiency, but our combat prowess too, of course. I haven't seen Albrecht in, God, since Heaven's Ward? How is this guy doing? Let me have a look at you. A touch nervous to enter the battlefield, perhaps? Well, I shall be out there alongside you as Temple Knight, serving with your fine band. Though I may not look it, I was the Azure Dragoon once upon a time. Yeah, I know, we went over this a long time ago. So you can rest assured I will give all that I have in the coming fight. I certainly won't be shown up by you or Estinian. I mean, you will, because you're an older guy and you don't have, like, a soul of dragon in you, but I'm sure you'll try your best. How you doing, Urianger? Blessed are we to have made countless steadfast allies o'er our journey's course. Indeed, we are joined today by many new acquaintances who in time shall we come to call our comrades and mayhap friends. I mean, some of them are already my friends. little son, with the Maul, champions of the Nadam, and the Dotharl having sent so many here, I had thought to defend the steppe in their absence. And I would have done so were it not for my stepbrothers. They urged me to grant our allies the sun's might, that his radiance may deliver them on to victory. By the way, I am actually the son. You called him Azam, right? I think that's me. Though I must tolerate the presence of this feral Dotharli dog, as first among my brothers, I could do no less than accept this challenge. My deeds will become the stuff of legends. Sure, buddy. Sadhu? I care not for the Iron Men or their troubles. It is the destiny of the weak to die in ignominy. Even so, I will do as I have agreed. I volunteered to join this band at Serena's request, and if she thinks it a worthy cause, that is reason enough. Are you guys friends? Though we hail from different tribes, our bond has grown strong as of late. She is much better company on a hunt than any of the steppes oafish men could doom to be. Ooh, girlfriends, maybe? How are you doing? I'm glad to see you well, Gaddis. Grandmother was worried for you. I mean, she can see the future, so if she's worried, you might want to tell me what she was worried about? The night I agreed to come hither and join the contingent, the gods sent her a strange dream. 2 suns, one burning red, the other frozen black. Closer they circled, closer and closer, and they danced the world, and as they danced the world fell to ruin. In blinding chaos she spied blackened silhouettes and knew at once that one was yours. One burning red, the other frozen black. The hell? Yet we knew not how to interpret this dream, save as a sign that a great danger awaits. But whatever lies ahead, I will walk with you, traveler. Okay, that's gonna make me a little nervous now. Frostic? Allow me to express my deepest gratitude for your role in liberating Bozja. Me and my countrymen owe you more than we can ever hope to repay. Now that our dream has finally been realized, Bastelen has seen fit to send a few of us to join the expeditionary force. I hope our skills will be of use. Wait, so if I hadn't done all these job quests in Bozja and all these other things, would the same people not necessarily be here? I guess there's no way to find out. Graha, this is extraordinary. To be in such company that, oh god, he's gonna fangasm. He's gonna nerd out because he's with too many famous people he's excited to see. To be in such company, the finest our allies have to offer, with comrades such as these, we are bound to succeed, I'm certain of it. I did not expect to see the other former Azur Dragoon. Yeah, you almost tried to kill him a long time ago. Hopefully you guys work that out amongst yourselves. As he well knows, I'm not one for verbose greetings. We shall instead let our lances do the talking once we're on the battlefield. Then we'll see if the other has been diligent in his training. We've been part of a joint military operation like this before, and with far greater numbers. But for some reason, this feels very different to our previous experiences. Yeah, because I know most of these people. Despite having shared little more than introductions, there's already a palpable sense of camaraderie. Okay, Lucia. I've led troops into battle many a time, but never a unit with such a diverse range of talents. While I've been briefed on their capabilities, I expect you could provide additional insight to their strengths and weaknesses. I'd appreciate any— oh, can I tell her about the ones I know? Oh, I guess not. Alright then. I've close ties with the scouts of the Eastern Alliance and the various resistance groups, and they're an absolute joy to work with. Oh, okay. Quick and to the point. I was half expecting to find the man who taught me red magic amongst our number, but he's nowhere to be seen. Oh, fucking Catman? I forgot what his name is. I'm so bad with Makote names. The one that I learned from? I suppose he's had his share of unpleasant experiences with the Empire, but so have we all. Perhaps there's some other reason. Well, in any case, I have a feeling I'll see him again once this is all over. I'm sure he'll be pleasantly surprised by how much my swordplay's improved since we last met. Okay, Y'shtola. Besides the delegates assembled here, the Amalja and several other tribes offered to send troops of their own. Unfortunately, due to their physiology, many would struggle simply to survive in the harsh climate of Ilsabard. They would also likely prove tempting targets for abduction by the Talafaroi. All things considered, they can better aid the cause by bolstering our defenses in Eorzea, though their eagerness to do more has been noted. We few shall have to suffice. Ere we embark, we must distribute the warding skills to our comrades. Care to do the honors? Oh, well, I just fucking talked to them. I guess I should have waited. Oh, okay. One for you. Yes. So these are the famed warding scales? Enough for me and my men, I see. I myself am especially grateful for this opportunity to visit distant lands. I wish to follow in the footsteps of Master Atoa and learn all there is to learn in the star we call home. Indeed, that is the primary reason I volunteered to join the expedition. To journey outside the Twelveswood, much less enter into Imperial territory, is a rare privilege afforded a Pajal. Not that I'm tagging along to see the sights. The Garleans would benefit from my healing magics, as would our comrades, should fighting break out. One for you. Ah, them scales everyone's been talking about. Pretty little things, ain't they? Reckon they'll be worth a gill or two when this is all over, but we'll hold on to them for now. Yeah, don't fucking sell them, use them. And one more thing. I know what you're all thinking. Why didn't they send Einzar instead? Was that the Rogadin? Buggered if I know. All the Admiral and Captain Hilfear told me was that they need someone to help safeguard the future. And here I am. Can't say they haven't got a sense of humor. I'm starting to think you might have a special role to play. Some redemptive thing? I guess we'll see. Of course, some of you might be wondering what good a pirate is on dry land in the middle of the sodden snow of all places. Well, me and my crew will do whatever needs doing, so let's set sail, or however the saying goes on airships. Is that a set of warding scales I spy? Not that I would know what they'd look like. Wow, look at these. Even a layman like me can tell they're bursting with ether. All the better to fend off the tempering waves? Is that the right term? Okay, well, you were doing so well. And then you just went back to regular lease, but that's okay. Anyway, these will give us one less thing to worry about, which just leaves the other mountain of whatever else is waiting for us in Garlemald. Only one way to find out, eh? And nervous or not, I'd march through all 7 hells if it gave me a chance to put Xenos back in the grave where he belongs. Put that ass back in the grave. Warding skills for the Ishgardian delegation, I take it? Yep, you can have one. Am I only giving one to a group of you? Many thanks. These talismans may prove to be the deciding factor in the battles to come. I find myself conflicted by this foray into Garlemald, sent by the Empire to infiltrate Ishgard, only to throw in my lot with those whose secrets I was supposed to be stealing. And now I lead a mission to save the countrymen I betrayed. But that is doubtless why I was chosen by Lord Aymeric. He would not have me put my extensive knowledge and former ties to good use. I will not disappoint him. For the future of Ishgard, Garlemald, and the world at large, I will lead us to victory. We heard it would be cold in Garlemald, so we came prepared. Good. Oh, the talismans! We are to keep these close at all times, yes? I will see that no one misplaces theirs. Yeah, don't, or they're gonna be fucking tempered and dead, probably. Ah, and before I forget, I have a message from Hien. In distant lands and times of strife, together stand, together fight. In darkness shines the light of life. Thanks for the poem? I hope I have done his words justice. Doma, like much of Othard, has been plagued by the towers. Yet while he could not be here, he wishes to express his shared conviction. He and Yuguri labor without rest to unite the people, and with their aid we will keep the enemy at bay. And we of the Steppe and the Eastern Alliance will repay their efforts by ending this war. Oh, Maxima. Yep, I got one for you. Thank you for this, and for going to such incredible lengths for the sake of my people. Yeah, they better be thankful. Though I have little to offer in return, I would impart some advice, if I may. You've been told by many to wear the cold of Ilsebard, and I cannot stress enough that this is no token warning. I will be distributing specially made warming tinctures, courtesy of the Alchemist Guild, but understand they are no substitute for proper protection. I leave the provisioning of said protection to your discretion. Now let us proceed to the Alamegan Quarter. While you make your final preparations, I will have the pilots ready the airships. I mean, I'm probably warm enough. Unless that's a gameplay mechanic. This is our last chance to make ready before we set forth. You needn't worry about Urianger and I. We still have what we wore in Garlemald before. Estidian claims to be quite warm and toasty beneath his armor, and since he spent a fair bit of time up north recently as well, I have no reason to doubt his words. Wait, Thancred and Urianger are wearing something else? Because, like, you're not going to be warm, Urianger. You're going to be fucking freezing. You're wearing, like, a silk dress. Most of the others will be borrowing Grand Company stock. The rest of you could do likewise, I suppose, provided you're not overly concerned with style. Not to put too fine a point on it, but I wouldn't be seen dead in one of those ridiculous overcoats. If only I had time to find something to my liking. Hark, is that the cry of Scions in need of... Is that Tataru in need of a tailor, I hear? Ha ha ha. But how? Haha, I have my ways. Oh yes, indeed. Yeah, make us some drip. You thought you could sneak off to Ilsebard without telling me? Wait, nothing escapes my notice. Did she slightly change her outfit? It's still pink though. Now you will wear these garments I've made for you whether you like it or not. Oh, she's like stitched them so they're a little puffier. You never cease to amaze. But why do you need a new outfit as well? Wait, are you coming with us? What? Oh no, of course not, silly. It's all in the name of fashion. Rather, the pursuit of the highest quality fashion. Besides, how can I expect others to wear my creations if I've never worn them myself? Is that a little fucking knife behind you on your butt? Are you gonna shank somebody? Ah, I did have one other thing to share. Ergamus and Blomwida have finally returned from assignments in the faraway lands. They'll be staying at the Rising Stones for a while to keep an eye on events through Eorzea. Am I supposed to know those two names? Since they'll be running things back at headquarters, I was wondering if I could lend a hand in Charlian? Oh, why not? You can keep Kryl company in the Baldessian Annex. Yes, we'd love to have you there. And I heard Ergamus and Blomwida did a fine job carrying on in our stead while we were lying comatose. With them in charge of the Rising Stones, we've nothing to worry about. My thoughts exactly. Also, while I'm confident you won't go collapsing again, because a certain someone who shall remain nameless is in a position to transport your souls to another world, if anything similarly disastrous were to happen, I'll be well positioned to do something about it. Anyway, I've got a few things to take care of, and then I'll make my way to Charlian. I was just like, threw some shade on Graha right in front of him. I really do hope these new clothes are enough to keep you warm in Garlemald. It's not much, but the only thing I can do for you, other than pray for your safe return, which I will, every day. Let's not keep the contingent waiting any longer. Here are your winter woolies, handcrafted by yours truly. Oh, that's what I got. North Sea coat. Ow. But I think I have something that looks like this already. Let me try to get a better outfit for the cold.